goodbye to the beautiful Lanka resort. What a lovely place. High ceilings, beautiful views. And we are at the Golden Temple, the Dambulla Golden Temple. That's amazing. So beautiful.
And 23 years before Christ, and then at the age of 29 he left the palace, even though he was married with a child, and then he became a hermit, because he said he didn't find satisfaction in what he was living in the palace, even though he had all the luxuries. So he became a hermit, and then after 6 years of going to different teachers, and then through his own striving, he attained this spiritual state that he called as enlightenment, or Buddhahood. So the Buddha, the name of this person is actually Siddhartha. Gautama is his clan. So he's known as the Gautama Buddha or Gautama Buddha. And Buddha is actually a shortened name of the word called Samma Sambuddha, which is actually of this ancient Indian language called Pali, like Latin for Christianity. Pali is the ancient language where he preached in, but it is a dead language now. But it is a very advanced and a developed language. For example, it has 9 tenses, and it actually has some words explaining a combination of emotions. For example, there's the word called Maitri or Metta, meaning loving kindness, where there's no single word in English for that, or in most of the languages. So it's a very elaborate language, and only the masters of the language can interpret it well. For example, there is the word for energy and heat and power and so on, right? But some actually have misinterpreted, and because I have come across some readings which says that according to Buddhism, the world consists of earth, air, fire and water, which is not the thing that he preached, right? It's about the formation of matter that he talked about. So it had been sometimes very wrongly translated by some people. And so anyway, the philosophy that he said was that no matter how much materialistic things you have, how much money you have, ultimately it's all going to go away. And what he said was it's all of unsatisfactory nature, not sorrow, not hate, not pessimistic, but what he said was it's unsatisfactory, and it's always changeable. And so those are the things that he talked about. So it's actually a very deep philosophy. And if anybody, and by the way, I'm sure you have read in your book that we usually have a discussion with a Buddhist monk tomorrow evening. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, the last group, they could not have it because the monk who was supposed to come was sick. But hopefully, I will be contacting him today. So hopefully he should be all right now. Yeah? So that will be tomorrow evening, and hopefully we'll have a discussion with him.
So it's not a religion?
I would actually call it a religious philosophy. I would actually call it a philosophical science, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my interpretation of Buddhism. It's a philosophical science, because if you take him, he never said worship my images or anything. What he said was, when he was a few months before his death, when he was asked, whom we should follow, he said, after my death, my teachings will be your guide. And follow my teachings. That's all he said. And the other thing is that he said, question my teachings. Like, look at it from all different angles, different aspects, and come to your own conclusion. And what he said was, just because I said it, or the elder monks say it, or your elders say it, don't accept it. Question it with your own rational mind and come to a conclusion. And that's the exact reason why Buddhism has branched out in different ways in different countries. And the interesting thing about Sri Lanka is that most scholars, they consider the Buddhism in Sri Lanka and like in say Myanmar, for example, as the closest to his original teachings. But like I was in Myanmar, I'm sure most of you have been there as well, and like what I noticed was there in Myanmar you get this practice of applying gold leaf, and of course it's to show your devotion, but the thing is, like, of course the poor people, they spend like half their savings on applying gold leaf and praying for a better life in the next existence. But in Buddhism, he didn't say anything. What he said was, you can donate huge palaces, castles, or monasteries, but following the practice is the best way that you can ask for, or like you can aspire for. Right? So if you are interested, there's a small booklet that we can get in Candy called Buddhism in a Nutshell for like 100 rupees. So if anybody is interested, I'll ask you tomorrow, and we can get the book a day after from this bookshop called Buddhist Publication Society. And actually this is one of the best translations of Buddhism in the world, I would say. Because actually, interestingly, the secretary of the society now is actually a Harvard graduate who became a monk in his early 30s. I mean, he's now like in his 60s. So there are a few European and American monks living there as well. Yeah. So the philosophy of Buddhism is that, okay, so what he said was that we go on in existence, like over and over, countless number of billions of generations, like evolutions, or like not evolutions but existences. And according to the good and the bad you do, the word he used that for like volatile action, like kamma, K-A-M-M-A. Kamma meaning like the good and the bad you do will follow you. So he said it's a natural process. It's not because the Supreme Being does it or anything. He said that's the way the universe works, that's all, right? So according to that, like, you will go on and on and on. And then according to the good and the bad you do, you will go up or down in these different levels. So what he said was there are hells, and then the animal level, and then like different human level, and then like different levels of heavens as well. So you can go up or down. So it's actually not a soul which transmigrates from one existence to the other. And it's actually a thought movement. That's the word he used. I mean, the rough translation is a thought movement which goes from one existence to the next. And he explained it well, because the concept of soul is from Hinduism and like from most religions. But he said that the concept of this thought movement is, in your next existence, you are not exactly a carbon copy, but so it's just this thought movement, which regenerates into another life form. So it's a very complex process, but he explained it pretty well, but very complicated. So that's a general introduction to Buddhism. And the Buddhism that you find in Sri Lanka is known as Theravada Buddhism. Theravada, meaning teaching of the elders. And the first division of Buddhism happened in like 100 years after his death, where one group of monks broke away, and they called themselves the Mahayana, and they called the others Hinayana. So it was over some minor matters like the using of money and using of salt and so on that they broke away. And he actually laid down like some very strict rules for the monks, the monastic order, and it is the oldest celibate order of monk, of a religious group in the world. So what he said was like, if you are involved in religious activity, you have to pay all your attention and your spiritual side into being on the religious side, not running a family. So that's the reason why he asked his followers, like, either you can be a Buddhist, like, with any philosophy you have. It's not a hard and fast road. So even if you become a monk, like, that's easier. What he said was because then your attachments and your desires are less. So that's the reason why he said, but even being a lay person, you can actually, practice the, science or the things that he said. But what he said was, if you have less attachments, it will be easier, much easier for you. And the Buddhism you find in Sri Lanka is known as Theravada, and then the other one called Mahayana. Again, it's a naming by this group, because they call the earlier group Hinayana, meaning lesser vehicle, and Mahayana meaning greater vehicle. But the older group, they call them Theravada, meaning teaching of the elders, and they call the others Vaitulyavada, meaning the false doctrine. Right? So it was just everybody calling each other names, but you understand, like it's just everybody calling each other different names. Yeah?
Yes.
And later on, around the 7th or 8th century, when Buddhism went to northern India, it actually got mixed with the animistic beliefs there as well. And it became known as Tantrayana or Vajrayana Buddhism, meaning like diamond vehicle, or the tantric, which is like the esoteric things in Tibetan Buddhism. Like, that's what Dalai Lama practices. And in Sri Lanka, we respect Dalai Lama, but he's not the head of the church as such, because most people think that he's the head of the Buddhist order in the world. He is only the head according to, like, say, Tibetan Buddhism. Even some Buddhists in Tibetan, yeah. So in this Tibetan or Tantrayana Buddhism, he is the living Buddha. He's the incarnation, and like he's the chief abbot who will regenerate into the next one and so on. But in Theravada practice, like what we follow here, there is no living Buddha, right? I mean, we have like chief monks, but there is no one single monk. In the ancient time, there was like a head monk's post, but not anymore. But in Sri Lanka, again, there are 3 main divisions of monks, and it's quite complicated because, it happened from around the 17th century onwards. So there are 3 main groups, If you want to know more, you can please ask me, so I can explain it a little bit more complicated way, all right? So you can take the photos, and then I know a couple of you will not probably go up, because it's like it's actually depicting him in the pose called he's showing the transitory nature of the universe, meaning like he's turning an imaginary wheel with his hands. So that's actually showing the changeable nature of the universe constantly. Yeah. And the significance of the monks is that they are going to worship him. See, like they are holding flowers, and they are going up to worship Buddha.
Okay.
So you're going up on your next life, right?
Sorry, mother.
You're going up on your next life.
I hope so. No, I mean, I'll be happy if born as born as Sue again.
Take our shoes off after.
No.
Just in front of you.
Use the bathroom.
Good. Are you starting up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna brave the steps. Uh-oh.
Monkeys?
No. Steps. Oh, he's so cute. They're sharing the food. Yeah, we're a group from the US. Look at them all.
I know. Have you got something to feed me?
I don't have anything. Well, no, I left it in the bus. I had the banana. Look at that one behind your legs. It just whoop. There they go. Oh my God, so many of them. Look at that.
Oh, so cute.
And he's not phased at all. Look at that. He didn't even move. Ah. Look at his pee-pee. Yeah. Look at that cactus flower right on.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty.
That's the prickly pear.
So beautiful here. Look at the lotus leaves. Lotus flowers. Hi. 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 You're so pretty. Bye. You're so sweet. Oh, thank you. Bye. My God, it blends in. Beautiful. Oh my God, they are adorable. Look at the babies. Oh. Look at him. He knows how to get into the garbage. Ah. Guy. What? He's not satisfied with his find. They are too much of a distraction. Look at that. They are on the branches, they are jumping all over the place. Look at that face. Baby? Hello? Hi, sweetie. Hello? Hi. Nope. They are used to us. He's having a much better time getting up here than I am. But it's the end of the tunnel. I think I'm here. He's drinking water. Okay, let's go to temple. Come on. This is where we take off our shoes. Never gonna forget my temple socks again.
Ten altogether, 5 caves altogether. 5. You can see it's one large cave spreading from here, and it had been sectioned off into 5 by building large walls in between. Yeah.
Okay. Where is the statue, the big statue of Buddha, the golden statue, when we came in?
Yeah.
Is that in front back there? Where is it? Because you can see it from here.
No, it's actually somewhere down that way.
Down that way, okay.
Yeah, down that way, yeah.
Okay.
statue is actually carved out of rock. You can see this is rock, yeah? This is granite, and it is carved out of the living rock. And it had been added with a thin layer of plaster. And if the 2 feet are together in a Buddha statue in a sleeping pose, that's he is sleeping or resting. But if the right foot is a little bit ahead, like here, and you can see actually here on the nails, sleeping or resting, yeah.
What's the movement? The moment of death?
If the right foot is a little bit like that, like over there, you can see.
That's the moment of death.
Yeah, moment of death.
Ah. They're totally even. He's just resting.
Yeah, even it's resting. Yeah.
It's amazing how they did that from the
So
stone.
this is actually carved out of the living rock. Yeah, you can see it's all rock.
What do you mean living rock?
It's like a natural rock. Yeah.
Natural.
It's not like brought in here.
So it's from the side of the mountain?
Yeah,
From the south of the mountain. Wow. It's amazing. It's so peaceful. Look at that.
Does it mean anything?
You mean like imagine like these ones that you put here, or?
Yeah.
No, this is actually like a decoration.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That is so sweet. Look what they did.
What is this? Did he explain
Dark.
this?
It's a stupa.
But the
And this,
dark,
yeah,
something with the D.
there is a word for it.
Yeah.
Look how huge it is. How long you would have taken to carve it. Look. Oh, this is for a Hindu god?
Yeah, for Vishnu God. Yeah.
Vishnu.
Vishnu.
It's interesting. How much do you have to pay? 500?
Put it on there.
Namo namakpa Vishungan Tri Vishungan Tri Namo namakpam Devata Narakwa Sarva Sarvalivaram Devataram Devata Raja Namakpam Mahavishnu Raja Narayani Namo
Oh, that's nice. How was it?
When the rainwater was going in empty, they made a 90-degree cut rather than, having a lower level. They just made a straight cut into the rock, so it would fall straight down. And anyway, actually this architectural style is only found in South Asia, like in a few places in Myanmar also you find it, but mostly in Sri Lanka. Tree over here, this is known as a Bodhi tree. Buddha attained enlightenment when he was meditating under a tree of this species, and it has this beautiful heart-shaped leaf. So the oldest tree is actually from India, which was like more than 2,500 years old, but it was destroyed by Muslim invaders in the 8th century in India. But a plant from that, a cutting was brought to Sri Lanka in the 3rd century before Christ, and that tree still survives in Sri Lanka. So that is considered as the oldest historically documented tree in the world.
But that's up north, right? It's like towards the north.
Yeah, north central part. And since ancient times, people would write down on stone, like, the kings or the noblemen who would donate things, like saying that, okay, this is very strong.
You can see the ancient stone inscriptions. Look at that. That's amazing. How much work? This is hard rock. How much work it would have taken to carve this out? Oh yeah,
The
right
donation
there.
of this the cave to monks.
It's inscriptions about the donation of the temple.
So
the monks.
it's actually run for about 30 feet from the left to the right. Yeah. And it's the ancient script called the Brahmi script, B-R-A-H-M-I. Yeah. And you can go into the, and that actually shows that these caves were habitated for more than 2,000 years. And you can go into the,
Before Christ. Yeah.
So it can absorb the pressure.
The hinges of the door.
Here you can see Nancy. The top and the bottom. Like it's connected like there.
So it actually doesn't have hinges. It has.
Yeah, it
rotates.
Yeah, it rotates. But it's actually very practical because
Yeah, it
these
is.
heavy doors, the weight can be absorbed easily.
So there, is there any special
In Sri Lanka, the kings would live separately, like in the palaces, not connected to the monasteries.
But when he died, is there a special...
No, they were.
I love this. Wow. That is so beautiful.
on these statues traces of the world as well. So you get the body. That's red or pink, just to give it beautify it. No, it doesn't have a meaning.
But sometimes it's facing out, sometimes it's facing
if
sideways.
the hand is like this, it's showing like fearlessness, like no fear if it's like this. If the hand is like this, he's beckoning the devotee to come towards him and get his blessing. And this is preaching.
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 Okay.
And this is like explaining something. Yeah. This is explanatory. Like this. It's explanatory.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And what's the other hand like?
The left hand, usually
this
doesn't-
one
Usually the right hand is the one which denotes
has a meaning.
one. Yeah, and the left
other
hand
one is
here,
just-
it's like he's giving something.
He's giving something.
Yeah, he's like offering. Yeah.
And when you have the two hands, like one on
That's
top of the other,
meditating.
meditating.
Yeah.
I thought it is the king that renovated the temple last. King of Candy. This is the fourth.
Prima non c'è corrente, non c'è luce qua dentro, no? Allora, vedete quella stanza della mattina, tutto bruciato, vedi?
And the curtains are just for respect. They don't really mean anything religious. And this is the fifth gate. Oh my goodness, I love this one. It's small, but I love it. Wow. Oh, he's just resting. I love that. Now we know how to tell. Look at the cobra.
So glad I went to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Amazing. I had no idea. What I was missing the whole time.
is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yes, sir.
Yep, the view is spectacular. I'm gonna see you down there.
Yeah.
Look at that tree. Look at that.
ඕවනේ අපි හරි මොනවාරි සපෝට් එකක් දෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ඉස්සරහ මුදුන මොනවාරි ඉතින් ගල්ලේම කියනවා.
They are so cute. If they were not coming too close to my feet, they would be even cuter. Beautiful color. Look at all the graffiti on the cactuses. That is pretty. That was great.
This is you,